Alrighty, y'all. Welcome to another IWrocker Clips video compilation. Taking a look at one of my favorite series on the channel. This has been very successful as well. And that is looking at construction methods and just overall housing and home qualities in, well, the good old USA and various places around the world. In this case, different European countries. Now, stating the obvious, they couldn't be more different in some cases. And yes, we have multiple, I've learned we have multiple examples of homes that have been occupied for, well, hundreds of years in extreme cases in European countries. Definitely not the norm here. A lot of people in the U.S. seem to change houses these days in the modern era since like 2000. Every 10 years or less. It's kind of crazy. Have become extremely expensive, and if anything, have gotten worse in quality, building materials, methods, that whole deal. It's a running theme here, unfortunately, in the newer world. They call it usually the inchitification of everything. It rings true in a lot of industries here in the U.S., and it's very annoying. Now, there are quality homes here. There are different various methods that are rare but still exist here. And, of course, there's always great builders out there. They're out there. It's just you have to weed through, it seems like, 50 horrible new home builders to find a good one here in the U.S. Basically, we have an abundance of lumber here, and not to mention, very extreme weather in certain cases. And also, people like to just remodel and change their house a lot here. So that seems to be the running reasons from experts why our homes are the way they are, and not super, thick and strong and more semi-permanent like a lot of the concrete, stone, various stronger methods that you would find in European countries like Germany, for example. When you see a brick house in a European country, it's a brick house. When you see a brick house in the U.S., it's actually just faux brick on the front. It's a facade over a lumber house. It's pretty interesting, but enough ranting from me. It's a little bit about my thoughts and what I've learned. I find it very fascinating, and of course, there's pros and cons to both. And there's ultimately a lot more to learn, right? There are some various, very interesting alternative kind of homes I'd love to check out here in the U.S. that might be a little bit more able to go toe-to-toe with what you can find in Europe. And of course, there's a lot of different European-style homes in various regions and provinces, states, and of course, countries. Anyhow, this should be longer than an hour, so enjoy yourself, kick back, and just, take in the various comparisons, culture shocks, and compilations having to do with me and you learning about homes, USA versus Europe. Alrighty, y'all, hello, and welcome back. We're going to be taking a look at houses all throughout Europe, everywhere we can. I think this is going to be fun.
You guys, we are at my Nana's house, literally 5 minutes away from where Carlo is from. My blood is from
this place,
the same place in Italy as Carlo is from, which is crazy to think that me and him fell in love with each other. My Nana held him as a baby.
She know me with the diaper. That's unbelievable.
With the what?
The diaper.
Oh.
So look at first thing I noticed is just how different this setup is, right? I'm assuming they're in like this balcony, which is part of the house, and you could just see, right, like this, would you call the city or village they're in, right? Everything's right next to each other. It's cool, right? You're in this big neighborhood essentially that just looks a lot different than what I would be used to, because I think they're in what looks to be some pretty hilly terrain, right? And you can see everything going down to this kind of courtyard, it looks like.
It's not diaper.
Let's give you.
Yeah, it is mountainous terrain. Very cool, right? Like this balcony is huge.
A quick little tour. I'm not going to show you our whole house because this is obviously my Nana's house. This is where I got ready for me and Carlo's first
cool bathroom.
date. My shampoo is still here. Smell like my hair when we met each other.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
I would sleep here.
Okay.
And my Nana would sleep here. This was me. Do we kind of look the same?
Yeah. Twins!
This is my beautiful Nana and my perfect Nana. This is them. This is where I would exit to get picked up by Carlo.
If you think it's crazy. Over there in particular, Park Mancaro.
Look at that. That is so crazy. All the stairs and like is this a road he's standing in?
There.
Yeah, and you'd walk
Or
with
a
your little
ramp?
sweater.
Yeah, it's a road.
You have your sweater on. Also, me and
See, that is just so cool. It's just so different, man. I love it though.
Carlo are related. No, You guys, we are at my...
Park my car over there.
Yeah, and you'd walk up with your little
here.
sweater. You
Yeah.
have your sweater on. Also, me and Carlo are related. No, I'm just kidding. You guys, we are at my Nana's house.
Alrighty. They say you cross paths with your soulmate several times before you officially meet. Then the ending. Also, me and Carlo related. Well, interesting backstory there. That was a little bit unexpected. But yeah, the house and the area, very cool. Again, it's just like a totally different vibe, man. I really do love it, though. The thinnest house in Amsterdam? What? Oh, my God. I actually thought it was fake at first. Like, it looks like it's just like a, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the word I'm looking for, but it looks like basically like a prop, right? Like one of those fake villages they make for movies or something, where it's just a wall and it's, made to look like a real house or building, but it's just like flimsy, right? Like there's nothing on the other side. That's what I thought it was. But it's actually, that's real. That is crazy, dude. A lot of the weirdest, like, I guess when it comes to size and like kind of unique way they're built, a lot of the craziest stuff I've seen seems to come out of Amsterdam. Definitely looks like just a fascinating place to visit, especially for like an American. Like I feel like Amsterdam, everything about it, right? A lot of things when it comes to the culture and the infrastructure and the architecture, just off the charts, fascinating. This looks like the houses you have to draw in school to understand scale and dimensions. That is so interesting, man. Like, if anyone's ever lived in a house like this, care to share, if you liked it and, what is it? What's it about? What's it like? I feel like there might be some drawbacks, right? But maybe it's really fun, and I feel like you can make anything a home. At the end of the day, you can see that it looks almost paper thin here. It's very bizarre. But, if it's kind of an illusion as well, because we are standing from the corner point of view, it looks like it does get significantly wider away from the corner. Things in a British house that are weird to Americans. Well, first of all, here's just like a walk, right? This is what I'm interested in. Not necessarily things that are weird, just all of it is fascinating to me. First of all, I do love like the landscape I see in like the UK, right? A lot of lush, greenery going on, and then even like the ivy type plants growing up onto it. It's kind of cool, right? Especially this aesthetic, right? You have all these houses kind of connected, I'm assuming, where you live in one unit and you might, you have neighbors. But again, these are constructed a lot different than here, a lot thicker walls, a lot more durable materials. It's pretty cool. And this is kind of a vibe on the street. It looks like a great place to take walks. Yeah, I have seen this in older videos that you have the two faucets, one hot, one cold, the different taps, right? I don't think a double tap is the biggest deal. It is different. You only have one tap here, and you move the faucet, left for heat or right for cold. It could be different depending on the house, but I kind of like that better because I'm used to it, and that way you can kind of adjust it warm or not as cold, like in the middle. So I feel like it gives you a little more straightforward flexibility. Although I suppose you could do that with mixing these here. Every time we shower, we flood the bathroom. What? Oh, I see, because the door doesn't go across. Yeah, ours is a double pane door, so one's fixed, another one you can slide open to get out, and then of course slide to get out or in it, or of course slide it closed. So I guess that makes more sense, having double pane. I'm sure you could maybe outfit that here, right? I mean, this is just one example. I also don't know if this is necessarily flooding the bathroom. I mean, look at the wall height here on the tub. Again, maybe a bit of an overstatement there. Yeah, the power switches the power outlets with the switches on them, I think that's super smart and safe. Seem to do that in a lot of countries, but we don't do it here. I think our system when it comes to this is inferior. They're always live all the time, and that could be dangerous. This is a smarter system, in my opinion. Water pressure super high. Oh, that's cool, actually. I think that's a good thing. That is pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, those look, first impression, They look a little small just because I'm so used to like every house looks big in the US. Not every house, but most houses. But again, they're built like paper, right? That's the joke. And I think some of these houses might be a little bigger inside than they might appear. I've learned that about certain cars, certain houses, right? Like things might look small, but then you get inside and they're actually well designed. If they're well designed, they might have a lot more room than you might think. This is where the American's coming out. If you share walls with your neighbor, which I'm sure happens, right? If this is like a fourplex here, you're just going to be hearing your neighbor breathing. No, that would be here in the U.S. Pretty sure the walls there are pretty thick. I almost guarantee the walls here are thicker right there in that picture than they are any complex here in the U.S. So, you can't hear your neighbors breathing because the houses are made from drywall. Exactly.
This is why I hate UK houses.
Whoa.
So my sofa arrived, and as you can see, the middle part fit, but the remainder of the sofa did not fit my narrow hallway. Like, who invented this narrow hallway?
Whoa.
And I tried.
Okay, hold up. Is this hallway painfully narrow? To me, yes, it is. But if this didn't fit, I mean, it looks like it barely fit through the door. And of course, it's not going to fit through here. Isn't this user error? She didn't measure everything she needed to measure to be able to get furniture that works, right, in the space it's going to occupy, but also works in getting it there, right? Like, you have to measure, right? Buying furniture is not necessarily just an easy, like, tap to buy and here we go, right? Like, you have to, there's a process to it. This is not the UK's fault, right? This is user error.
Did not fit my narrow hallway. Like, who invented this narrow hallway? And I tried so many sofas. This was like the 7th sofa. And
Oh,
at this
geez,
point,
it doesn't
I was
fit
like,
through
I
the
don't
window
care.
either.
Take the windows out because I need a sofa, okay? I had returned so many sofas and I said, no more. We tried so many different ways. We removed the window. It
She's
still
tried this
didn't
multiple
work. So I
times.
made the executive decision to pull the whole frame out. I said, I don't care. Just, I want a sofa,
that's a lot of work.
okay? So they pulled the whole window, like, guys, the whole thing off, which cost me so much money.
Oh.
And when they did that, the sofa, of course, finally fit. So once that was in, they closed the windows. They had to rebuild the window. Anyway, my dilemma is that I do
Damn.
not like the color of my sofa. That's it. I
After
do not
all
like
that?
the color. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I wanted a beige, like a creamy white, and this is like a gray, and it's just not
Dude.
what I ordered. Anyway.
It looks fine. Like, what? After all that, took the window out, couldn't get it through the front, and now you don't like the color? Oh my God, some people.
And this
Some
is
people,
like a
man.
gray,
I just-
and I just, it's just
Look, everyone's different. If she doesn't like it, she doesn't like it. You know, it's her right. She wants to go buy another one and deal with this again. Okay, right? I wouldn't. I think I'd be good. I think I'd be good no matter what. We're going to make it work, right?
not what I ordered. Anyway,
Holy smokes.
what do I do? Do I take the window out and pull it out, or do I just live with it, or do I just cover it with a blanket?
I think you live with it. I think you let the color grow on you. If it doesn't, cover it with a blanket, right? Make it the exact color you want. Find a blanket. It'll be easier to get through the door. So, other than
It
that,
does
I
look
mean,
like it matches right now. but
again,
I'm
it looks like a cool place.
changing the blinds to like a white and the lampshade to something else. So I feel like it won't go with the final.
And even the comments agree. Buy a sofa cover. Exactly. It's easy fix. Girl, after the hassle of the window, allow the color to grow on you. I'm sure you could work around it. Use white/cream throws and cushions.
Okay, Prema, bring the key. Here's the key.
What you get for 50,000 euros in Eastern Croatia.
Okay.
Cool.
Shoes off. Let's
Got
go
the
in.
kitty cat, all right.
Okay, so what do we got here? We got a...
Dude, 50,000? This is nice. Oh my God, you can't touch anything in the US for that. What?
So this is our kitchen.
We have gas stove
Dude, that's cool.
So we have
Look at the cool
cutlery.
drawers.
and a glove included. We have dishes
That's amazing.
and we have a dishwasher.
And a dishwasher.
Dishwasher.
What else? So
Wow.
many
have some
surprises.
salt.
It's like a whole bunch of surprises.
Big cabinets. Those are actually hella
You
cool,
got some
dude.
wine
Glasses, you need that in Zmajevac.
Let me see what else I have in my kitchen. Excuse me. This is gas for the stove. Oven.
Look at that. Wow. Dude, the cabinets are actually cool in my opinion.
Fridge and the freezer.
Like the
huh?
doors, the glossy look and
Covered
stuff,
up there.
they're nice.
Yep.
Look at that. See, that's different. We usually just never see that here where the fridge is hidden. So you open those, and then, of course, there's your fridge access. That's really cool as well. Of course, the fridge is looking kind of small, right? That's the American in me, right? First thing I noticed, that fridge is hella small.
Awesome. And then this fridge
But
is
you usually
also-
don't need bigger than that, so I get it.
So this
Or
is
you could have two fridges. There you go. They have two. This is for a 50,000 euro house? You realize the average house in the U.S. is basically now, this is how crazy it is nowadays. Remember, the average house in the U.S. is $400,000 or close to it. It's outrageous. People just can't afford to live anymore here, man. 50,000 euros, or let's say around $50,000 to $70,000 in that range would be kind of close to this, U.S. dollars. You're just not finding anything. Let's continue watching this, and I'll show you.
2,200 square meters of land. What else is in this floor? And we'll be using this wood-burning stove. Somebody left some wood for us, so we can start right away.
We have a bathroom.
That's awesome.
This is our bathroom.
Dude, this is nice for 50 grand. Come on.
Nice.
I can't even
Real
comprehend that.
bathtub.
Look at that. How cozy that
This is
is.
a bedroom.
Lots of natural
We'll use
light
it as a
opportunities.
Yes, and then you can do yoga here.
Yep. It's a good house.
Yeah.
It is a good house.
And this is where Mom and Papa will sleep.
It's a very,
Very cool.
This is the best part of the house. It's very nice.
It's cool
very
just to see
spacious
this too, like an
closet.
honest house here, right? Not some flashy mansion or something.
I know this is
I
nice.
love that, right? So many innovative and cool, like kind of sleek features, even in at least what I think is like a pretty cheap house, right? Maybe relatively, but
Oh,
that's
your
amazing
Chuck
to
is
me.
testing the
I mean, this
bed.
is nice, cozy place.
So here we're going up to the second floor.
Okay, so you have an outdoor
the second
staircase,
floor.
second
which is
floor
a
rather.
Separate entrance.
Interesting. Okay.
So on the second floor.
So do you
we
have to go outside to go upstairs? Now that's a little weird, but
a
hey,
common room here.
50,000 euros, whatever works. Can't really
living
complain.
area,
I like the arch ceilings, of
Here are
course,
the-
on the top floor.
necessary attachments if we ever want to make a kitchen here to make it 2 units.
Wow,
There's a dry storage space up there in the attic.
that's cool.
And here there are 2 bedrooms, smaller bedrooms, but still quite nice.
Yeah, they're small, but they're usable still.
And here's the view of our land, which extends
How far does it go out there?
back there to that tree in the middle of the screen.
That's pretty good. So you get a decent bit of
Bathroom here
land.
with a skylight,
I love the skylights. Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, the natural lighting
a shower.
is great here. I love how different the bathrooms look, but again, very cool. Look at that.
View from
That's
the
cool.
front of the house.
That's really
Very
cool.
Picturesque,
Yeah.
beautiful rustic European village.
Dude, that is hella cool. This is what I wanted to see. This is really cool, man. I feel like this is incredible. 50,000 euros for this. And it's like a complete, nice, clean house. I'm kind of mind blown. I will show you around the northern Illinois area where I'm at. Take a look for 50,000 US dollars. I'll even raise it to 60,000. And of course, go on Zillow here, around northern Illinois here. Look at, if you pull up houses under $50,000, it only pulls up properties, and small properties at that, right? That are just random stuff. It doesn't pull up any houses at all. Now, if we zoom out a little bit on a map, we can just try and find something, right? But I doubt we're gonna. It does pull up. Okay, here's one finally, right? In Wakanda. And of course, this is all you're going to be able to find, if anything, is what you call a trailer home here, right? So these are, a lot less desirable typically, and they're going to be pretty small. And that's it, right? No basement, no second floor, which isn't a big deal for most people. That's fine. But I mean, it's very basic, right? Maybe a couple bedrooms, and there you go. It's going to be pretty tight, at least for American standards, pretty small. And this is 35,000 US dollars. So they're out there, but they're going to be hard to find, right? And it's not going to be big or luxurious in any sense. I think in this case, I would take the Croatia home. I think it was a better deal. Now, of course, on the other side of things, we all know rich houses exist everywhere, and a lot of them aren't realistic for most people. A lot of them might not be even nice for people. A lot of people don't want a crazy, luxurious big house. It's just too much, right? I agree. I think they're fun to look at, though, just because it's fun to look at like the biggest and best of the best from different countries, still to see how they differ from at least my experience here in the U.S. So this is a luxurious Portugal house, and I think it's just fun to look. Look at the huge door. I love it. And this one's very modern, but again, I mean, beautiful kitchen space. That's the one thing I do envy from these rich houses, are the kitchens are awesome. This one's very open. So you would only kind of find this setup maybe in Florida or California, so each coast, southern coast of the U.S. This one's definitely California vibes with the surroundings, although if I'm super rich, want to blow money on a house like this, maybe if I won the lottery or something, I think I'd go with Portugal here, right? I think it'd be better than California for various reasons. Is that a crazy take? I don't think so. I mean, this is pretty damn impressive. Wow. Is that a clear floor? It is. Wow. See, that's just stuff like in rich houses that's like, what? Some of it's cool. Some of it's a little bizarre and out there, but, to each their own. Yeah, this is obviously a very expensive, nice house. Not really my taste, but I can appreciate it for what it's worth. Now, I guarantee this would probably be cheaper than living in some expensive neighborhood in Los Angeles. Okay, house hunting in Germany. This is kind of cool. Kaiserslautern area. Oh, this is nice inside. Wow. Oh, they're from Milwaukee. What? Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's pretty close to me. It's pretty cool. Now, this is a pretty big space, honestly. It's just her and her daughter, sounds like. Look at that kitchen. Wow. Okay, that's nice. This is big. It keeps going. How many floors is it? Big. This is a little shocking. Now, of course, in all of these countries, right, you're going to have differences. You're going to have smaller houses, bigger houses. So you got to keep that in mind. You got to say, this is like a German house here. I didn't expect it to be... Like, it looks nice on the outside, but I feel like it looks even nicer on the inside. Kind of premium. And I'm surprised at how big everything is. Like, big rooms, big bathrooms. Like, this is a big space. This is a really big space for two people. So unless she's getting a really good deal on this, I feel like this is kind of wild. I mean, no judgment. She wants it. She wants it, right? I just hope it's affordable. I feel like that might be expensive, right? This is a big house. I wonder what rent would be for this. Like, how many euros per month would a place like this even be? Fortunately, she does not tell. Now, this one is a little confusing. This is price for a house in Europe, but it's not the average price. These are like some cheap, so basically it was considered like cheaper houses in each country. So here's a little breakdown. You can kind of study this. Of course, the old things kind of reign true. Of course, Eastern Europe and Central Europe are a little bit cheaper than, of course, Western and Northern Europe. Northern Europe looking really expensive. And I love how for Switzerland, it just says, good luck. There you go. Good luck at Switzerland. There's no such thing as cheap there. I also love how I've seen this before on other videos or news stories. €1 for Italy. Home of the €1 house. I don't know if those are true. If you would like to educate me in the comments. I feel like that's a little odd or like scamish. I don't know if that's true, but if it really is, wow. That's pretty crazy. Friend from the UK, OMG, those buildings in Eastern Europe are so ugly. How do you live there? I think they're photographed wrong. I think, like, when people want to make them look ugly, they make them look ugly, right? I don't think these are... What's the slang for these? Like, commie blocks or Soviet-era brick... Or, not bricks. Soviet blocks, right? These buildings, right? Even Americans, like most people have heard of these or seen them in some sort of media, right? Movies or something. I don't think they're necessarily like grand, just beautiful places, right? But I don't think they're super ugly either. I think they can be painted in a negative light easily, right? I think some of them are pretty nice, although I've always wondered what they're really like because a lot of people still live in these. And I feel like a lot of people actually say, kind of like this does, it's home, they like it, they're used to it, you know? So if they were truly ugly and just horrible, I don't think people would, you know, I don't think anyone would like them at all. People even in the comments saying brutalism, but I find it beautiful. They find it more comfortable than other areas. And I suppose everything's relative. Maybe if you're used to it, it's just always going to have a sentimental value. I guess what I'm saying is these can't be that bad, right? Or are they? I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll see. This is a Polish apartment block from the outside. So again, not super beautiful paradise on the outside. I get it. But this is what I want to see from the outside versus the inside. I'm going to guess the inside probably better than people would think. That's what I'm saying. See? That looks cozy on the inside. You can make things a home. This actually looks really nice on the inside. Look at that. Damn. What's crazy is in Illinois, we have areas that look like this. Like, literally, just like this. If you took the text off, I might think this is around me. The only difference is our buildings that look like this, they're abandoned on the inside, so they don't look nice, and no one can even live there. Even people in the comments, again, right? Definition of make a house a home. Miss climbing to the top floor to see babcia, right? My friend, when he lived in Wrocław, his apartment was like this. Outside looked battered. With the lift, you swear you will fall, or it will fail and fall, but then you walk into his apartment, beautiful. That's what I'm saying. I think that's kind of interesting. I'd definitely be more interested in learning about these on a bigger scale. I think they're kind of fascinating. Things you will find, or things you will see in a Slavic home, okay? Mary and Jesus everywhere, cabinets not to touch for display. Rakuchi every morning? Ooh, that looks good. I know the food would slap, hell yeah. Different blankets and carpets, I love it. Just kind of all the colors, rather. Yeah, see, like, makes it really homey, right? I feel like it's kind of cool. Great place to be cozied up in the winter. POV, coming home to your Soviet-era apartment. Now, I get it. The elevator freaks me out. It looks a little dirty, it looks a little small, looks a little used, like high miles, right? But, so, okay, this one's a little rougher. Or are they just in a hallway? Oh, they're not even in there yet. Okay, right? They didn't show the inside of the apartment, but that was a little cleaned up. It would look fine. Honestly, if you cleaned it up a bit, it would look like an average New York high-rise. This would be $2,500 a month in the U.S. That is so true. We're in crazy times over here, man. Send help. No one can afford anywhere nice. Things in my Eastern European boyfriend's apartment that just make sense. Sage, love it. Sword. Damn, that's legit. Hell yeah. Sparkling water, love it. Damn, I feel like I vibe with this. All three of those things I have in my house as well. I don't have that. Not sure what the tree is, but he calls it Miroslav. Interesting. Nesting dolls, that's cool. Patron saints, okay. Cyrillic books. Okay, so they're losing me now. I had the first couple things. This is definitely more Eastern European for sure. Fancy cat. Oh my god, that's funny. Slavic warship. Pretty cool. Homemade rakia? Or rakia? Map of Belgrade? Damn, that's pretty cool. That's a vibe. Sticking with that theme, right? More Eastern European stuff. You got to tell me if this is all accurate. Bidet, Jesus painting, toothbrush, UV sanitizer. I like that. Wow, way too many shoes. I thought this would be an exaggeration. No, it's not. My God. Do they have different shoes for every day of the month? Holy crap. Now on the flip side, this is more of a maybe newer and regular neighborhood in Poland. Now these are cool. I like these houses, right? This is what I like about Europe as a whole, that it's a little quite hard to find here. You can, but it's rare. I like how everywhere has gates and walls. Not all of them, but most of these houses. Like you see this, right? Very cool and ornate walls and gates, like the work, right? And the designs is pretty cool. I also like the roofs on this. This is a pleasant looking house. I just like this. I don't understand why we don't do roofs like this for every house. It's, again, this is super rare here. Why is it, right? I don't know who likes these asphalt shingles. No one likes these here. I don't know why we use them. This is cool. But I forgot, it's all cost here. Everything's got to be put up cheap and sold at a high price. Make that make sense. That's really nice. Wow. Even got the solar panels. Damn. Poland. Nice neighborhood. Of course, talking about Europe, you got to have old stuff, right? Something we just can't compete with at all here. This house is older than my country times 3 almost.
Oldest house in France, located in Aveyron, has a rich history that dates back 700 years to the 13th century. Originally owned by a woman named Jean, this remarkable building features a ground floor that is slightly smaller than the upper level. This design choice was a clever tactic to minimize tax expenses, as taxes were based on the area of occupied land during that time.
Wow,
the stone structure indicates that Jean was likely of considerable wealth.
Wow.
Today, efforts are underway to preserve and celebrate this historic landmark.
Yeah, that's one thing that seems pretty impressive as well, right? The preservation efforts in a lot of European countries for a lot of different things, even down to homes. I mean, this just blows my mind, right? Look at that. It clearly shows its age, but that's what's impressive about it. Like, this is a 700-year-old house. What the hell? That is insane to me. I love it. This is house sitting in France, smallest cottage tour. This is cool. I love like the properties, right? Like, look at this. In some houses where you have this much land, and look at that. Fruit trees. Holy crap, how cool is that? And all these little paths, right? Walking paths. The cottage, the shed, right? Little table and chairs. It's just a very cool and alive property, right? All the different trees and plants. This is very cool. And again, you will not find this very often, if at all, here in the US, right? This is just a totally different vibe, dude. It's awesome. I mean, look at how much character and depth this place has. This is very cool. Look at inside. I mean, look at the glass. Right? That is so cool. Tons of natural light. And a very unique aesthetic. Look at this mini staircase. That is actually hilarious. That makes me nervous a little bit. But, hey. Very cool. The doorways, too. Oh, my God. Very narrow. But I like this room. Like, look at that. You're in a triangle. How cool is that? Walking in a middle-class neighborhood of Norway. Take a look at this. Ooh, these are cool. Look at that view, man. Norway is spectacular, dude. Look at that view. The hills, mountains over there. You get a view of everything, man. I like how all the houses are different, right? You could tell they're all different. They're all unique builds. They're not cut and paste or copy and paste from the same builder, a whole neighborhood of just houses with different siding. Like here in the U.S., you might find in many neighborhoods. Look at, they're all different. The plots of land are in different shapes and configurations. The houses are literally all different. Every detail, right? Different fences, different driveways, different cars. It's cool, dude. It's very cool. And look at that. You're in the mountains. The clouds are just caked all over the mountain right there. What a spectacular environment, man. That is cool. That is hella cool. It's just a house in Norway. Ooh, look at this valley. What on earth? Wow. Oh my God. Is this out of a movie? Is that covered in snow or is it what? It's white. It like blends in with the snow. Yo. That is a dream home for sure. That is actually cool. Like, this is actually hella cool. Wow, I love the ambient lighting in the kitchen. Geez, I assume this would be expensive, right? A house like this. We bought this abandoned traditional Greek house in a little village of Lefkada on the Ionian Sea. Ooh, interesting. Wow, look at the lemon tree. How freaking cool, dude. It's going to be our winter project. We can't wait to see it coming back to life. My husband's going to do most of the restoration by himself. It's going to be a hell of a project. But it's going to be very rewarding, I'm sure. I wonder how much it's going to cost, right? That type of thing. Just the little details I love, right? Of course, the Euro windows. We love to see it. You know, because this house is so different, right? Look at what it's constructed out of, right? This is a heavy-duty house. It would be here in the U.S. You just don't see that here. Again, you have some vintage pieces which are kept behind. That's pretty cool, right? All the windows are just so different. That's going to be a big challenge, right? Like, holy smokes. And again, we're not dealing with 2x4s and drywall. We're dealing with stone, some solid stuff here. This one's not even old for Europe standards, 1821. Yes, it's old, but you know, for European standards, I'd say it's pretty young. The dog loves it. I love the exotic lemon tree. Again, you won't find that here in Illinois, so it's very cool to see. Damn. I could see this being really, really awesome with a little bit of course, effort and love thrown into it. And some money, of course. Alrighty, y'all. Hello. We're going to be taking a look at a deep dive into some homes today. America versus kind of the world. Probably a focus on Europe for the most part. And the differences, I think, are going to be pretty stark. Not to mention, there has been a decline in U.S. kind of home build quality. Which is pretty ironic because homes are more expensive than ever. Quite a weird scenario, if you ask me. Let's take a look.
This is a German wall. Made out of bricks and plaster.
Sounds pretty solid.
And look at how thick it is.
Holy crap.
10 inches thick.
That's a wall?
It is.
Inside the house? That's not a building, that's a house?
And how thick it is.
Oh my God.
10 inches thick.
This is an American wall. It's made out of paper and air.
Oh, there it is. Guys, yeah, this is not a joke. First of all, I love when he knocks on it, you could just hear how hollow it is. You could just hear it. And look what's underneath. Oh my God, it's almost hard to believe. This could be an interesting one because I already know the kind of mind-blowing in a bad way process of American homes, especially newer ones. But when you really see it, it still is kind of like, what? Is that really how we're making things? I don't get it.
All right, I want to show you what these are made out of. Behind all those bricks. Right there.
Yeah, remember, some houses might look like they're stone or brick, but that's just that thin. It's just a facade. They're still the cheap materials, cheap lumber skin underneath, right? Cheap boards. Like, it's weird. They can make them look fancy, but it doesn't mean it's actually made out of brick and stone and concrete and things you would expect. Yeah, it's pretty weird to me that there could be houses for $1 million and still made out of this stuff. Now, I'm sure there's really well-made houses in the U.S. It's just very rare, and of course, I couldn't even imagine what it would cost you. It's not the norm.
There's this.
Yeah.
Y'all want your homes built out of hardwood?
Look at that.
200 G's. 200 G's.
Look at that.
There you go.
Goodness.
Look at how fast they fall.
Another one.
Oh.
Yeah, what's funny, but also not funny, is how many people comment, just one good strong wind and the house is falling over. Yep.
Now, my favorite part is, like, apparently American home builders didn't get the whole, like, the classic nursery rhyme, right? The Three Little Piggies. We chose to make our homes out of straw, apparently, which basically I love the comments on this one, by the way. German man, what do you mean Americans are punching holes in the wall? Yeah, as we saw, your hand is going to be busted if you try punching a hole through that huge wall in that German home. And I'm pretty sure that goes for most European country homes as a whole. So glad I live in an older home, none of the cheap materials. House I grew up in was in a newly built neighborhood. My dad fell slightly and reached out to the wall to steady himself. His hand went right through it. He hid the hole with a picture, but my mom found out when they moved. See, that's crazy. You can't even trip up a little bit and steady yourself on the wall. That's bad. Can that even be called a wall? Yeah, you shouldn't be trying to punch holes in the wall, but even in an accident where you just try and brace yourself, damn, it can't hold up your weight for 1 second. This right here, 100 times this. You know, it's funny when the argument, because I hear this all the time from Americans. You know, it's funny that the argument of it makes American houses cheaper and easier to produce is used to justify flimsy materials for building a house. Cuts, then you look at today's housing market. Thank you. They act I hear people try and justify the housing here oh, well, they're cheap. They can throw them up quick. They can repair them, blah, blah, blah. They're not cheap. New house builds that are barely even passing the inspections. It doesn't even matter where you're at. Yes, the prices vary throughout the U.S., but even cheaper states, houses are still $300,000 or $400,000 nowadays. If you're outside of Chicago, Illinois is one of the cheaper states to acquire a house. Now it's horrible on taxes and stuff like that, but it's still a decent house is $250,000 to $400,000 in not a happening area, not a hip cool area. If you didn't know, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. If it was truly cheap, if it was made out of crap cardboard houses, shouldn't it be $50,000 or $100,000? Why are they $300,000 or $400,000 when they're not even built well and you're not even in a happening area, right? It's crazy to me. The buildings are constructed using different techniques to better fit their specific environments. The sturdy German walls are excellent at trapping heat inside and reducing ambient noise levels, while American walls are great for air circulation, eavesdropping, and affordable construction in natural disaster areas to ruin the lives of homeowners repeatedly. Affordable construction? No. I'm going to say no to that. But yeah, everything else. Got to build them quick with cheap labor for the contractor to make more money. Bingo. That's right. The millions per year isn't enough. They got to get more, man.
I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good.
No, I don't think that's good either. That looks like something I don't want to mess with. I don't know about you. I don't see a problem. You got good current. You can run a 30 amp circuit with 24 gauge wire with cooling like that. That's right. Yeah. Water cooled is the new way. POV, don't worry. It's a well-known builder. Everything should be at the highest level. Literally the ground isn't level. Great. Well-known builder indeed. Well known for all the wrong reasons. Install a drain in the center and it has purpose. Yeah, that's it. It's just missing a drain. You're right. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? Seems like all the new builds are shit. We toured a new slab home before flooring was installed. The complete perimeter was collapsing. Never did go back to see how they covered that up. 400 plus homes too, and not cheap. That's insane. That's what I'm saying. $400,000, $420,000, whatever it is. And you can't even get simple basics covered the right way. It's astounding. It really is. I don't think it was always this bad, right? I know people from other countries might have some opinions on certain American homes, and that's fine. I mean, we do have a lot of variety here. But, this is, like many things, it's only a last 20 years thing, really prevalent, I'd say, in the last 10 years. It's almost scamish, right? It's a scam, how expensive homes have gotten, and they're going severely downhill in construction. Say what you will about American homes, but I truly think homes, good homes from 50 years ago, 60 years ago were pretty competitive on the world stage. Now they're not. They're terrible. Houses in Texas, $950. That's a pretty cool looking house. House in Ohio, $540. Okay, Ohio's pretty cheap. I mean, that's not cheap, by the way, but these are huge McMansions or whatever you want to call them. Houses in Atlanta, $700. Okay. I mean, they look good. I think these houses look great. California. That is true. You spend 7 figures and you literally get a little rinky-dink house like that. Oh, but it's close to the beach. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't stand California for reasons like that, but to each their own. Yeah, this shows you the big disparity in states and prices, right? And granted, these are for big houses, and it's just a funny video anyway. But the point is even this house, as aesthetic as it may be, most likely this house has some skeletons in the closet, right? Like, this house isn't probably as well built as it looks. It might be okay for a while, especially if you have no natural disasters, hopefully. It's not like some big iron, stone fortress like it might appear to be. Unfortunately, underneath, they might have cut some corners or two, and it's a lot of just cheap lumber. Renovating in North American homes? Oh my God. Renovated in Eastern European homes. Hold on, let it play. Look at that. Oh my God. What a freaking difference. Yeah, that should explain it right there. You ain't doing that. You ain't doing that in your European home. What I find interesting is the comment section is really like kind of back and forth. You do see, and look, anyone can have any position on this, by the way. If fellow Americans want to defend our homes and they have reasons for it, like, that's totally fine. I'm in the middle. I do think a lot of our homes look great. I think there's some beautiful places here. I don't really have a choice. Like, I have to kind of like American homes. I'm in one, right? I don't really have a choice. I can't afford to make a big concrete fortress here. I'm a realist. I realize that other places have, more heavy duty quality, better built homes. It's just a fact. I do think it's kind of annoying how our homes are not near the sturdy quality that you would find in a lot of other places, but somehow our homes are still really expensive.
If you're British or non-American wanting to move to America for the luxury aesthetic, I got something to tell you. Now, you didn't hear this from me, but as someone who grew up in what is now a gentrified area in Philadelphia, you absolutely can afford a place with granite tabletops, high ceilings, spotlight ceiling lights. They're beautiful, I won't lie.
Yeah.
But baby, they're surrounded by cardboard.
Truth. Like, I think we do. If you don't like how they look, that's fine. That's on you. I really do think a lot of our homes here look amazing. I think we also make some not good looking homes, but like a lot of homes in a lot of different areas are very beautiful, right? It's just like, it's so weird that it looks so nice and some of them look so grand. It's just like, it's weird. It's like they're decorated cardboard at the end of the day. It's weird. And I know it's not literally cardboard. We're exaggerating, but it's just weird.
I lied to you not. I have seen them put up rows of houses within 2 weeks. Yeah. I've seen the material they use. It is like cardboard. It is some type of plank wood, some type of cotton material, a little bit of aluminum foil or aluminium foil for my British followers. And this is no shade to any of my American followers because I do plan on getting a cardboard house in Maryland or Washington, D.C. I won't lie. Yes, the houses are big, they're modern, they're very up to date. 2-car garage, but I don't know how safe your car is when the garage is made out of cardboard.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I agree with this. Like, there are some beautiful houses here. There's some cool styles. There's lots of different styles you could choose from. Different states have different feels, different building codes, yada, yada. But it's just frustrating because now they're so expensive, right? Getting a home is just, it's so sketchy. Like, it's so expensive. There's so many issues with the real estate market that I'm not going to go into today. But it's crazy. Then also, I will say there are some really shoddy, like, scam artist contractors, which is a shame. That's why it's scary as a consumer. Like, it's hard to even get a house. And then half the time it's like, I hope I don't get scammed, right? Like, it's very scary. At the same time, there's some awesome home builders and contractors here. So I don't want to generalize literally. Like, there are some awesome homes here. There's some awesome contractors that are very upfront, very, good to work with and do certain things that do kind of put them above and beyond on the quality compared to other contractors in the area. So, like, that's not shame, everyone. It's not about that. It's just as a whole, there's been a lot of bad trends in the real estate thing, and it starts to add up.
West Africa builds better houses than America and much of the Western world. I've built new homes in America and West Africa. And I can tell you, when you see the construction of new homes in West Africa, you're going to have a hard time settling for the junk they try to sell you in the United States. The biggest reason for this is, where does your money go when you purchase a new home? In America, most of the money that you pay for that new home is going into the land and into the permits necessary to build your house. Whereas in West Africa, most of the money that you're putting into the new home actually goes into the home itself. So you can have better building materials and a higher building standard.
These pictures of these West African homes are gorgeous.
Than you can in America. In fact, let me compare two. This is the kind of build quality that you'll have in America if you're...
Yes, and you do have contractors that will literally source the cheapest option for everything. That's the scary part. And they'll still charge a premium price. They will source everything as cheaply as legally possible. Sometimes not even doing it legally. Sometimes cutting corners that could literally fail an inspection or could literally be a safety hazard, which is also scary.
We're buying new home construction. It's basically as cheap as they possibly can make it to maximize their profits. Whereas check out West Africa. The walls are concrete,
look at that.
Cheap wood and drywall. The floors are marble.
Wow.
They're not this cheap artificial wood.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
In all the new homes that they call luxury in America.
Yeah.
And the location of the
luxury
houses makes a lot more sense
here
in West Africa. In America, when you're buying new home construction, even luxury home construction, you're generally put off into this land of suburbia where you're 15 minutes away from the nearest store. Whereas in West Africa, you can purchase a home that's conveniently located to the metropolitan areas, which makes life a lot better on a day-to-day basis. And let's talk about privacy. In West Africa, you can build a privacy wall around your entire property. So people can't just walk up to your front door, or they can't just look in and see what you're doing. In West Africa, you get that safety, security, and convenience. Whereas in America, they only allow you to generally do these cheap vinyl.
This does vary a lot, but he's right. Like, there's a lot of weird, specific, like, building codes and restrictions with, outer structures on your property, with fencing, gates, this type of thing. It's very annoying, right? Now, I'm lucky enough to have fencing and a natural perimeter around my property, and that's just the thing. It's kind of like a loophole. Like, I can have privacy, but only with a natural perimeter. And I was lucky enough to where it had that before I, moved here. So that works out, but that's not the case for everyone. So, like, you can't build a big wall or a big fence in most cases. It's not allowed, even though we're the land of the free, right? He's right. This is like one of the most restrictive things is like, if you want privacy or you want something guarded or blah, 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 it's like so much red tape and jumping through hoops to try and get stuff done here. It's very annoying and very costly as well. And it's not the norm.
If you're lucky, they can be 6 feet tall and they can only be in your backyard.
Right.
So everybody could just walk up to your front yard when you buy.
Yeah, we're very lucky. You can't get on mine because we have a gate and a fence. But again, that's a very specific scenario. It's not common at all.
Buy a new home construction in
America, but
and
it's
in
not.
West Africa, new home construction isn't as restricted as it is in America. So if you want to build a one-level house, you can do it. If you want to build a 6th bedroom instead of having a 5-bedroom, we can make that happen for you.
Wow.
And if you want a guest house, that's absolutely no problem. As long as you got enough space on your property, we can build that for you too.
I admire that. That's freaking awesome. Let me know where you're watching from and how this kind of relates to where you're watching. Like, more kind of variable, and you can kind of, if you want to build a wall, you want to build a big fence, that's up to you. Is that allowed where you're watching from, or is it more like America where it's pretty restricted? We also buy everything in cash, no credit. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, you won't see that much here in the U.S. unless it's, of course, big companies buying homes, which, like I said, that's for another video. They buy cash, I'm sure. Otherwise, most of us have to sell for mortgages if we even get the house, if we don't get outbid by, real estate moguls and companies. From South Africa, I can confirm this is true. Homes in the Middle East are built so much stronger. American homes are made with toothpicks. CNN has always told us African construction standards are poor. We believe in them. We are shocked to learn the truth. That is what's frustrating, man, is that American bubble, right? Like, our media. That's why I talk so much trash about our media. I can't stand our media. I can't stand the news here. It's so full of junk and hot air. They make up stuff and make it sound like the rest of the world is behind, and it's not the truth. I feel like we're behind.
Hey, another home inspection.
This ought to be good.
2024 townhome. Let's get to it. Now, this chandelier is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But
right.
How are you going to let the cables get all tangled up like that?
Oh, my God.
Come on.
And I bet this is an expensive property he's looking at. I bet. A lot of these homes, like, at first glance, whenever he goes and shows us something, it's like, oh, dude, that looks pretty nice, right? It looks modern. It looks kind of classy. But then you find out it's junk. And this stuff's not cheap. But it is cheap.
Come on, people.
$2 million can get you a home you can just walk in and know everything's perfect, right? Like, this is insane. This is insane. Now, I'm not going to say this is every home in America. Of course not. But I will say this comes up way too much on my feeds. Like, this is enough of an occurrence where it's pretty common to see, right? It's not all homes, but it's too many. Alrighty, y'all. Hello, it's Friday. I'm super pumped up for the weekend. I hope yours is going to be awesome. We're just having some fun today. Like always, we're looking at construction differences between, roads, houses, buildings, just general construction. Some differences, some similarities. I usually learn a lot when it comes to this type of thing. And yeah, it's going to be awesome between different European countries and North America, mostly the U.S. Yeah, I expect some interesting videos here. This looks pretty awesome. What exact material is this? I'm not exactly sure, but it looks durable. I actually like how they fit together too. Oh yeah, that sounds hefty. Not like over the top, but just solid. Kind of. Yeah, it looks a lot more durable. I hope they show what I think they're going to show for American. Just sheets of shingles. Yeah. I mean, hey, you could slap these together quick. Shingles, I mean, some of them nowadays last a little longer than you might think, but man, these can fly off. They can come loose. They can look sloppy. I mean, look at it, right? It essentially looks like barely thicker paper with some grit on it. It's weird. It's weird, right? Yeah. And somehow it actually costs a lot to have it done. So isn't that a shame? I'm sure having your roof done isn't cheap either. In, the UK, in this example, some other places that use, some durable methods. But you probably don't have to replace that under normal use every 8 years, 10 years, right? You will need to do that if you're lucky with this stuff. All right, let's take the first L. I gotta love this kind of savage comment here. If you take a look, the American roofs are the material for the packaging of the European roofs. Damn. So we'll stick with roofs one more time for this one. This is German roofs versus the U.S. Yeah. Damn. Wow, those are awesome. Is that like clay? I mean, look, there's always arguments for both sides, right? I know the U.S. one you can slap together quicker, yada, yada. It's different climates, different needs. The thing is, people like me, a lot of people are just kind of, we have fatigue with American homes at this point, right? We're kind of pissed off because homes are just so expensive everywhere in the U.S. now, and you see what kind of quality they are. And, a lot of the quality's gone down as well. There's a lot of sketchy scam contractors out there, and you really got to do a lot of diligence when you're looking for a home. And it's hard to even get a home, man. You get priced out when you're bidding on new homes. They go to big corporations or random sellers that you're like, how did they get that so fast? There's just a lot of problems here, and it's funny seeing the construction differences. This German roof might take a little bit longer to install and be a little bit more intensive, but, it's well built. It's something you can really kind of justify the cost on. It's not like, I always see Americans saying, well, our houses are built faster and they're cheaper. they're not cheaper. I've looked at houses recently for a video in different European regions, and they seemed no worse or no more expensive than what we have here, except ours are built like this. So it's kind of crazy, right? You know, if our houses were big and they were only $100,000 US, that'd be great, right? At least they'd be cheap, even if they're not built well. But they're not cheap. They charge $400,000 or $500,000, and it's still sketchy most of the time. At least this is pretty, durable stuff here. It's pretty cool to see, actually, the different methods. Again, the American one might have its advantages, but I feel like there's fewer advantages, and you would wish that it would cost less, but a lot of times it doesn't. I guess one of the takeaways here is the American roof would certainly be easier to complete for someone that doesn't really know what they're doing, but that's about it. I mean, what do you guys think?
Europeans think of American construction. I'm going to build my house with cheap pine sticks. First, I lay off the walls 16 inches on center. I refuse to use the metric system, even though it makes more sense. Every board gets at least one nail, and no noggins. I don't even know what a noggin is. I'm using an entire piece of 2x4 for my window header. This will be super strong, which is important because we get hurricanes and tornadoes at least once a month everywhere in America. All this work made me hungry. Time for a light snack. Now it's time.
KFC and a big old Coke. Look at that's not a small Coke either. There you go.
Time to stand this wall. Almost
Painfully
no
accurate.
flex.
I love when he picks it up. It flexes all over the place. And he's like, oh, no, almost no flex.
Then I secure it with 2 nails. Next, I head outside to install the siding. I'm going to go with solid cardboard because it's cheap and easy to install. I fasten it with heavy gauge 5/16" staples, and don't worry about the seams. I'll seal those with duct tape. This wall should last until we get a tornado next week. Finally, I put paper up on the interior. This was so much better than using bricks. A job well done. Time to go home. This is what Europeans think of it.
Oh, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. And unfortunately, not that far off. Not that far off. When satire really feels like meshes with reality a little bit. It's a weird feeling. Pretty accurate. Yeah, I'd say so. Honestly, supposed to be satire, but not too far from reality. I bet it would pass inspection. Yeah, I don't know. It really depends. There are some miracles out there that you just wonder how this passed inspection, but it did.
Germany, things are done differently. Look at this door. This notch fits over facing. Very nice. Very sturdy.
That is very tight fit.
Hinge. And finally adjust this. But this hinge is no joke. And I can't explain the feel, like how good this door closes. Look at that.
You know, it's kind of crazy. When I see through a video, I could kind of hear and feel like that's just a thud, right? Like a loud, not in a bad way, like a solid, well-built sound, right? When it even comes to doors in a lot of European countries, it's awesome. This is true. That's what doors are like here. Bedroom doors are just ridiculous. Of course, our walls, you can punch right through them. That's a German wall. You've seen this clip before. Yeah. These are
wall.
As solid as it
bricks
gets.
And plaster.
And look.
Yeah, I can't even comprehend that is so thick. The walls here are a lot smaller, and yeah, sound pretty hollow. Or does it sound solid? I think you know which one. What can I say, right? Again, there's going to be people that defend U.S. houses, and that's fine. There are advantages to it. There are some different styles of houses that are a little better built, but they're going to cost you here, right? It's not all doom and gloom, but it's pretty rare to find incredible things, and it will cost you, right? A lot of the doors are just cheap. The walls are cheap. Unfortunately, the price of the house isn't usually cheap, though, somehow, so make that make sense. And then, of course, at the end of the day, it just feels like, I mean, maybe it's not like this, but it definitely feels like with infrastructure, with construction, home construction, man, you look at other countries, and as an American, it just feels like we're 30 years behind on everything. Maybe even more.
Comparison between building materials in America and in Italy. Here's the thing, guys. There's a big misconception about the quality of houses between Europe and America. Yes, houses in Europe last longer, but then that's relative. Because the problem of houses in Europe, which are mostly built in concrete, if you look at the newer ones, is that concrete at one point, you cannot really restore it. You need to take it down and build new. I mean, all the bridges that are falling apart in Italy are a very good example. You cannot fix them. You gotta bring them back down and build a new one. But the cool thing is, once you build them, you can leave them as such for a long time. That is the nice power of brick or cement or that kind of stuff. By the way, it seems to me that the cement that the ancient Romans used to use was higher quality. It was literally built to last. There's a lot of buildings that are still standing and still in great structure. There are aqueducts in Rome that are still being used.
See, that's amazing to me.
Years. That's also why.
How did they do that? Like, I've heard that some of the ancient construction in Rome and elsewhere, right? Like, it is incredible. I mean, it's still used. Think about how old that is. Think about how durable some of that has held. You know, for that to hold up for a millennia or two is kind of incredible.
Roman water is so good because the water runs through stone, not the metal and PEX pipes you have here. But now onto American houses. American houses are built for practicality.
Yeah.
Super quick to build, super easy, and they're easy to maintain. That's a big difference.
Oh, that's
in theory,
true.
An American
That's
house
true. That's
could
one of
last
the pluses.
longer than your European one. Because if you need to maintain it, you can break the wall, replace the wood, and the house can keep on going. I mean, guys, I worked on structure, I worked on plumbing, I worked in electrical in houses in America, and it's a joke compared to European houses. So they might not look as nice, and they might not be, let's say, as long-lasting if you leave them alone and don't touch them.
Right.
Because again,
Oh,
wood
they
rots
won't.
much quicker than concrete.
Right.
However, one big nice advantage of wood is that you can take it out of the wall and put a new one in. So by maintaining it, because it is maintainable compared to concrete, the house in America could actually potentially last much longer. The drawbacks are they all look the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all copy-paste. So
Yep.
little to no fantasy in the designing. And in a country which has tornadoes, much more susceptible to be destroyed because less robust.
Seems like it's by
so
design.
Ups and downs,
Yeah.
it depends. I love the European design. I mean, this is a house we did in Tarquinia, which
Whoa.
I love. It's so beautiful. And I mean, you don't find this kind of stuff in America very normally, very easily. Peace. Comparison.
Yeah, good point at the end there. A lot of unique design choices and, you know, integration. You're not going to find much at all in the U.S. A lot of copy and paste houses, blah, blah, blah. You've kind of heard that before. Also, I sort of agree and disagree. Like, I get what he's saying. It's definitely more easy to modify the American style, you know, cheaper, thin houses. You can add on, you can redo walls different, you can reshape it, you know, to an extent. There's always going to be some limitations, but I get what he's saying. It's a lot easier than if you have a big concrete and brick and thick house, you know. I get it. But at the same time, that's not really feasible for most people. That does happen, of course, but a lot of people aren't going to be just like making their house last forever, like he's saying, by replacing this wall and then later we'll replace that wall. Like, that's not really what happens, right? People change houses so much here, and you know, they end up tearing down houses and rebuilding it a different way for the next person. And yeah, it just, the houses here don't last long, like, you know, some would maybe think in this way, like he says, because people don't really do that, right? They kind of go till it falls apart and then that's it. Or they move into a newer house that's even new builds, or some of them are really bad and it's bad and they find out and then they get out of the house and move somewhere else, or they get foreclosed on or whatever. So interesting differences, of course, but I think it's a clear conclusion on what would last longer and, you know, what is built for just speed and turnaround.
One of the things that's so different in the US to the UK, or especially New York, is that construction work can just happen anywhere at any time, and it's just complete and utter chaos.
That is true.
So you can just be walking down the sidewalk, and next to you on the sidewalk might just be some guy with a saw, like a chainsaw, like going into the sidewalk. There'll be no like there'll be nothing protecting anyone from walking past it. You could be, you know, a yard away from this like dangerous tool and nobody cares. Yesterday I was coming back from work and I walked under a scaffolding that was literally being taken apart in the middle of the day poles flying everywhere, like no protection
Oh my
whatsoever
God.
from anyone
I'm
walking
sorry.
around it. Just randomly in the middle of the day, bunch of people with no helmets are just taking it apart, shouting at me to walk and move and walk under this structure that's literally falling apart before my very eyes. And it's just totally acceptable. Like, never in the UK would it happen. Like, say there was a little bit of work going on the pavement, the whole pavement would be shut for the safety of the public, but not here. It just isn't a thing. I'm not sure why. I just passed a group of construction workers digging a hole in the road. Again, most of them are not wearing hats, just sort of stood around, almost looking like civilians in like clothes that I would use to paint my house. And there's a massive hole in the road, and they've got a drain hanging from the sky. And again, there's just a couple of orange cones separating cars and people.
Yeah, that is true.
How is it legal? I wonder how many lawsuits happen every year. And maybe
In
just the
America?
insurance policies here are so wild
A
that
lot.
nobody cares, and the hassle for making these structures safe is so great, they'd rather take the risk on an insurance claim. One of the
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is definitely accurate that, for every very well done and careful construction project, which do exist here, you'll find a lot of crap show ones that is just a mess. Honestly, it's very common, at least where I live too, that they will do road construction. First of all, we've all, probably heard me say how long it takes and blah, blah, blah. It's very, sloppy and takes long. But also they will just kind of drill into stuff, be doing all this heavy work and stuff could be flying around or whatever. There's big, machines around, debris, yada, yada. And you're just driving right by it, right? They just kind of cone it off. Take the road down to one lane and you're just driving within, arm's reach of heavy equipment and big materials. There's no wall, there's no fence. They do it at all times of day. It could be in the morning, could be in the afternoon, could be at night. And you never really know because they switch it up. So it's hard to even plan your commute around it. And, this lasts for months and months, whether it's a hotel or a road or whatever they're building or working on. So, yeah, it is a little bit chaotic, in my opinion. Maybe some people feel otherwise, but that's at least how it feels like to me, especially in Illinois, where construction is always happening and it's always a mess. When it comes to, like, the way even they're dressed and stuff, I don't really know on that. I see some guys wearing surprisingly not a lot of protection and marking, marked clothing or highlighter vests or whatever the case is. Yeah, that exists. I see some of them look like they're dressed properly, so that just probably depends. And how well that's enforced, I guess not that well. But I imagine this type of thing is a little more put together, and from what I've seen in clips, this seems to be a little more efficient, more well done in a lot of European countries than you would probably expect, at least in my local area. No doubt about that. Let's see, in Switzerland, they repair roads without stopping traffic. See, this is next level. Like, why can't this be a thing everywhere? This is awesome, right? Look at them working underneath on the actual road. And look at that. Epic, elevated, temporary road. Like, that is insane. My American mind just can't comprehend this. This is never something I've ever seen. That is insane. And by the way, I don't know what is wrong with TikTok. That annoying dot crap keeps showing up. It doesn't matter what's going on. It's on their end because my internet is fast. It's definitely something up with them. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I got to admit, very impressive. It seems like decades ahead of what I experience when driving through road construction here. I've never gotten to go over a cool temporary ramp or bridge, whatever you want to call that, this elevated road. It is so innovative, so cool. Seeing this, I mean, this is in Switzerland. I wonder if they have this elsewhere in Europe. If not, I mean, shout out to Switzerland. This is genius. How freaking awesome is that? Yeah, the U.S. could never, man. Look at this. This is in, apparently, maybe anywhere. I don't know who all uses this. You can see the problem if you're on mud, right? It leaves ruts, impressions. Hard to get traction, right? Now, this is like a pretty genius thing that it says is from Germany. And of course, it makes better use of heavy machinery on, grasses, muds, that type of thing. Now, I have definitely seen, I don't know what material they are. It's definitely not like this in the method it's put down. This seems very quick and efficient. As you can see, it's like a roller. I think this is actually super cool. Now, I've never seen that done here. It could be done here. I don't know. I've never seen it personally. I mean, look at this. Is genius, too. I mean, how freaking cool is this? Germany is like wild, man. Seeing stuff from there just blows my mind all the time. But we do put down temporary roads sometimes on loose surfaces. I've seen that before. It didn't quite look like this, though, so I'm not sure if we have this or not. We should, if we don't. I mean, this is awesome. Of course, another look at road construction. This is in Germany. The other one was in Switzerland earlier. Again, I just see a big difference. I see, first of all, how smooth the road is, right? There's no grooves, no seams. It's just perfect looking. It's awesome, honestly. And again, like kind of the amount of personnel and the machinery involved, at least around my area, you're not seeing this, right? You're not seeing this at all. It's a lot more primitive and smaller sections at a time. And I don't know. I don't want to keep going because it just really reveals how behind it seems we are when it comes to at least road construction, especially on the highway. This would be an absolute mess if this is around Chicago. I'm just saying. I've heard this is done usually, not always, but usually really quickly as well. Meanwhile, this section of road, this would take months around me. Yeah, it's rough. Okay, UK versus North America conduit bending. Interesting. That seems pretty legit in the UK. This is how we do it up here. Okay, so I don't have, any experience with this, but I'll take his word for it. And like always, it seems like our method is, again, not as good. Looked like a lot more effort and a worse result. It would just take longer, right? And not be as easy. Look at this. See, gives you a lot more leverage. Look at how he barely had to work at all for that in the UK version. Now look at how much potential for things to go wrong, and look at how much effort and muscle force he had to put in for the American style here. Ooh, yeah, that's a big L for us there. If that is truly how it is all the time, again, what are we doing? What are we doing? If there's any advantages to the American one, I can't think of any right now. And if there is, it's going to be a lot fewer, I feel like, advantages compared to that UK version. Is awesome. How Americans do electrical. Again, I can't vouch for this totally. I mean, yeah, in this video, they definitely make this look a little more tight-knit and robust in the European way, I will admit. It's hard because I don't want to just blindly always admit the U.S. version is worse. And I'm sure, again, right? Like, it's not always bad. But the problem is it is bad a lot in the U.S. when it comes to construction, right? So, of course, why wouldn't there be shortcuts and kind of shoddy quality in some, maybe a lot, of American homes, even when it comes to electrical? Alrighty, y'all. Hello. Taking a look at houses today, so please join me for some fun. We've dabbled into this before, but we're taking a more thorough look at some different houses in various European countries. I know these can vary a lot. I think it's something that the U.S. also does well, and, there's a lot of weaknesses, though, with ours. So it's kind of a mixed bag, and I kind of expect that from various houses in different countries. It's going to be some charm and innovation, and there's going to be some also, stark differences and maybe limitations. Not sure what to expect. Let's have fun with this. I think most of these will be different than homes here. I do expect that.
Currently back in Poland, staying at my babcia's house in Piekary Śląskie, and I just want to show you what
Cool.
a typical Slavic house looks like. Like, honestly, the place she lives literally looks like it hasn't been touched since the 1970s. Right, welcome to the Slavic house tour.
What is
Look at
that
this
door?
For starters, yeah? Red. Looks like a flipping prison mattress or something.
That's actually kind of cool.
Slavic.
You know, it's unique, and it definitely gives some character. Not say, you know, I'll say I haven't seen that before, so not something that's super common, but I can appreciate some, you know,
house tour.
some
Look at this
uniqueness.
door for starters, yeah? Red. Looks like a flipping prison mattress.
It's like
or something.
padded, right?
What is that? I don't know. Then we got a bike in the
hallway.
Nice little pink.
Wow, that is so European. I know bike usage varies by country in Europe, but all of it's more than here in the U.S. You might be lucky to find a bike in the garage, if the house even has a garage here in the U.S. That's about it. You're definitely not seeing bikes in the house in the hallway.
Bike. Little calendar to set the mood. Then
That's
we come
cool.
into the
I'm
living
fine with
room,
that.
Right? Just bits and bobs everywhere, bruv. All my laundry everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to my nan for doing my laundry. Obviously, we've got the mandatory Jesus
Yes.
cross, which says Jezu ufam ci, which means Jesus, I trust you. Bare pictures of
okay.
all my family and whatnot. Then we go into the kitchen, yeah?
That's
Now,
normal.
this kitchen looks like it hasn't been touched since World War flipping one.
I don't know about that.
Look at this kettle, for example.
Now, the obvious, right? Small kitchen. Yes, you can get small apartments with small kitchens here in the U.S., but for the most part, a heavy emphasis is usually put on a little bit of room in the kitchen. All these appliances are just so small compared to ours, what I'm used to.
We got another room here. Notice there's no bed. She's got a sofa bed. That's how Polish babcias roll. I'm sleeping on this, bruv. Let me show you
What?
the bathroom. She's recently done up the bathroom.
Okay.
There's a little mirror. Look at me go. Ja się mam zajebiście, babcia. Pokazuję właśnie twój dom. And then we got the
God, Polish is so cool. I don't know how anyone learns it. I'm amazed.
bathroom, yeah? Look at the bathroom. Yeah.
What
crazy.
is going on in there?
Last time I stayed there, she didn't even have a shower. So, yeah, this is what growing up broke in Poland looks like. Yeah?
You know what, though? Like, broke or not, I don't know if he's being funny or exaggerating, but you know what? I love seeing, like, a real place, right? Not one of these funny, like, $1 million house tours. You know, those are interesting just to see different areas, different views, and maybe even, you know, different architectural standards and stuff. But seeing, like, a real deal house, that's what we like, right? It's kind of hard to find that sometimes. I like this.
Literally hasn't changed since the moment I
This
left
is
for
real.
the UK.
It's got
which is,
character.
Crazy. But yeah, that is what it looks like.
And, you know,
when you're
so
staying
many
at your
memories
babcia's
are
house
made for decades there, man.
in Piekary Śląskie in Poland, which is some next ends. Hope you enjoyed the
That was pretty cool. Slavic house tour in Poland. What do we say? Pretty realistic? Hit home a little bit on some of these parts? You'll have to let me know. I vibe with it. A little small and a little shocking, I could say, maybe from an American mind, just because there are quite a few differences. The bathroom was a little bit interesting, shall we say. But overall, that was pretty cool.
Things in my French house that just make sense.
That's a cool looking house, by the way. I like the finish, right? I don't know if that's just called like plaster or stucco or what you would call that, but this is like a cool, simple, clean house on the outside. I like it.
French doors with
French doors, of
functional
course,
shutters.
in
And
France.
look at that. They actually close.
Toilet in its own room with normal amount of water. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. Yes, the little differences. I don't know why our toilets have so much water in the bowl before you flush. I don't know, man. Heater in every room. Okay. So, yeah, there's not really much central air and central heat in a lot of these houses in different countries, which is so interesting, but totally not a big deal either. If anything, when you're using heat and air in just rooms that you spend the most time in, it's actually probably better, right? Wouldn't it be more efficient? I think so. A heater in every room and a special heater for the towels. See, that is so innovative and smart. Why don't we have that here? That we don't have here. Some real bread, some real French bread. That makes everything complete and, quite frankly, so much better. That was the best part. Bravo. This is cool. This has copyrighted music, but this is in Dubrovnik, Croatia. I believe this is an American woman living here. Holy smokes. Look at that view. Hello. That is so freaking cool. You get to just see that out the window? Wow. I love it. That makes all of it worth it. And there's a balcony. Okay. Well, I would just spend all my time there and go into sleep. Hell, maybe I'd sleep out there. I mean, the inside of the apartment doesn't even matter. If this is your balcony and that's your view, I mean, do you really need much else in life? Look at that bathroom, by the way. That's so cool. It's just so different. Everything is different. The sink, the toilet, the styles, right? Look at these. Okay, so the toilet's floating. We've seen this in other countries, I believe, as well. That's just not a thing here. That style is so interesting. Pretty cool aesthetic. And then look at this. Not like totally detached. You have buttons. I think you have 2 different types of flushes too. So innovative, man. The shower. Let's see the shower. See, I mean, that's cool. It's just kind of one cohesive unit. Is this the drain down there then? I like it. I like it. Oh, and then a lot of these houses don't have closets, so you have a wardrobe like this. And actually, this is kind of cool. If anything, it depends. You can make your closet really useful here, but some closets aren't set up that well. So, like, at least like with the wardrobe, it's predictable. Like, it's pretty useful and easy to stay organized, I suppose. It's funny how that's just not as common here. Yeah, that's a cool apartment. I mean, the kitchen, we didn't get a huge look at it, but I actually like the kitchen. It's still roomy. It has all you need, I suppose. I like it, actually, kind of the style. It's got some cool, like, ambient lighting there. Yeah, this is a nice place. This could go toe-to-toe with any U.S. apartment. Actually, it would defeat it because look at the views. Things I've had to get used to as an American living in Germany houses, or German houses rather. Heated towel rack. See, again, even they have it. Does everyone just have the heated towel rack? Like, just rub it in, right? We just don't have that here in the U.S. We missed out on that. I don't know why. Absolutely no AC or central air in the house. That is wild, man. You guys do air out, though, right, with the windows? Pretty smart. Front door automatically locking? What? Is this what we've heard before? I can't remember if we've heard this before. You close the door and it somehow locks already? Maybe someone can explain that. That's kind of a cool door, by the way, that cutout. I've never seen a door like that. That could be freaky if you're not good about keeping the keys on you. We've seen this, the Rolladen, right? That is so cool. Don't know why this is not more common here. It's like ultra rare here. Maybe expensive houses have it here, but not many do. Having to wash, God, these are going fast. Once a week German washers and dryers are half the size of what I'm used to, and washing cycles are much longer. I wonder, are these washer and dryers, are they all electric or are they gas? Which one, or do you have both? Because here you can have both. I've typically had gas, like dryers, for example, here. Either way, I mean, they look sufficient, right? We've heard a lot of times that European houses don't even have washer and dryer, so I know that some of them do. That's pretty cool. They're just smaller, but you know what? Just don't have as many clothes, right? A lot of Americans fall for overconsumption, myself included. Just have less stuff, and it's not that bad, right? Having to go shopping for groceries more frequently because of the size of my fridge. This one I need, honestly, because I fall victim to putting so much stuff in the fridge, and then we end up having stuff in the back that like never gets touched for a long time, and then we discover it months later. I'm like, oh, that's where that went. I feel like there's, admittedly, a little bit of a waste that happens year after year. Some things get wasted and forgotten about because the fridge is too big, and having a small fridge might keep you a little more disciplined. So I'm not terribly opposed to that. Overpowered as sink? What? Now that one, I don't know what that's about. Is the water pressure really high? Pantry in German is just an empty room, has no built-in shelves. Okay, not the end of the world, not as convenient, but you could make it pretty cool if you supply the stuff. No, German stores normally have mineral or sparkling water, no purified. I mean, you don't really need purified water, so, right? Just drink mineral water or sparkling. That works. That's what I do. Yeah, the separate trash, definitely more of an emphasis on legitimate recycling than here. No built-in closets. She's got her TV on some clothing drawers. That is new. Hey, whatever works. You got to work with what you got. I had to show the comments. Purified water is what we dump into cars or use for ironing. Why would you drink dead water? Oh, you'd be surprised at all the silly things people are into here in the States. The houses of Reykjavik, or Reykjavik. Probably saying it wrong either way. Just a quick glance at like the houses. So not a single house, but I have to say this is beautiful. Look at all the colors. And I know there's probably more cities like this in Europe. I mean, this is so freaking cool. And shout out to Iceland, right? I know we've had people comment and view from Iceland, so shout out to you guys. It's not talked about so much on my channel, but I want to include it when I can. It looks like a beautiful place, and this is proof. Look at all this. This is fun. And keeping with them for one more, things in Iceland that just make sense. Hey, look at that. We got one of these right here. You see it. I love it. I totally vibe with that. And for the outdoors. Well, I don't have that outside the window. That's pretty cool. Having two thick duvets. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it can get cold in the house if you don't have a lot of heat going on. Cheese cutters. Yeah, that is something we're missing out on here. And a barometer. Hello? What? We don't have that in the house. What are those? I feel dumb. I don't know what some of these are.
We just moved to Scotland from
Oh, cool.
outside of London, and we are so
Look at that
lucky
door.
because we get to be the caretakers of this beautiful home. My previous videos showed the grounds around the home.
What?
But I thought you might like
That's the freaking view?
of the part of the house that was built in the 1750 main front. But I thought
Give me back
video
to the view. Oh my God. Damn, Scotland? Wow. That's pretty.
showed the grounds around.
I want
the
a view
home.
like
But I
that.
thought you might like to see inside. We'll start
Holy
from the main front
smokes.
door of the part of the house that was built in the 1750s. But before we continue, we're going to take a little moment for this beautiful wooden
So this house is older than the country I'm in.
glass door. I'm not sure
Wow.
if she's original to the house, but she is gorgeous. Right out the side, we have a little office, or at least it was previously used as an
This is
office. I'm
cool.
not sure
I
what
like
we'll
that
do with it
color.
yet. From here, you can see the hallway that leads to the kitchen. We'll go there a little
place
bit
is
later.
pretty grand.
The next room I want to show you is the dining room. The original features in here are phenomenal. All the furniture you see today is from the previous owners. We haven't had the chance to move anything up yet. The real showstopper of this room is this original Gothic archway. This is
That
actually
is so
a listed
cool.
feature of the house, so we'll make sure to treat her with the utmost care.
Yeah.
But equally vying for your attention is this amazing fireplace. The details on here are an absolute work of art.
I love the intricacies and the details. Naturally, if this thing's 300 years
For
old,
those
you're
of you
going to
who
have
love
gems
historical
in here.
homes, I'll give you a minute. Now, I'll probably split the tour because this is becoming a very long video, but mostly because I have to take the time to move this hydrangea to another room to make it look staged for you. See you in
Alrighty. Well, that is very interesting. I feel like that was just a glimpse of a 1750s house in Scotland with a spectacular view, may I add. Holy smokes. I'm jealous.
Hey, excuse me. How much rent do you pay as a student in Edinburgh?
I pay $8.50 a month excluding bills.
Do you think that's
That's
fair?
not bad.
I think so.
Could I get a house tour?
I mean, I don't know. Remember, every country's different, wages, earnings, cost of living, all that stuff. To me, 850 euros a month doesn't sound bad, but take that with a grain of salt. Just remember, rent for an apartment here in the U.S. is ridiculously high these days. So let's just say the average is way more than that. So that's what I'm going off of.
It's huge.
That is humongous.
fireplace as well. It's so
You are never
bougie.
finding somewhere that
laughing at
big
the,
to
like,
rent
tiny
here,
little rug.
unless it's thousands of dollars per month.
So normal, and this room is just so big that it looks tiny.
I think she needs a new rug.
She's going to invest. I also have this room. It says on the door Kathleen's room. We don't actually know who Kathleen is. Put like all her stuff in here.
Jesus, this place is huge.
Getting ready room.
Is that like your stuff, or was that here when you got
That
there?
was here when we got there. We have no idea what's in them bag.
That's kind of scary.
That's
This is
interesting.
nice though. It's like lilac walls.
We've got like these massive windows. I think if we can open the curtains, the natural light.
Yeah.
is so nice.
Oh,
When
you're
you
gonna
go
have
with the purple
natural
walls,
light
like-
for days.
The wardrobes in here are extremely high. My flatmate had to
Whoa.
use a ladder to put her stuff in. This is our first
Dude, this
bathroom.
place is
Toilet's
kind of
not working
spectacular.
just now.
Oh, I mean, does the job, right?
Exactly. This is our other bathroom, which actually has a bath and the world's smallest shower head. It's actually tiny. I don't really know.
What the heck?
I don't know how that one's going to pan out, but
What is that shower
this
head?
random little,
It had like a little weird thing. These drawers here, we moved in and there was a silicone nose.
very niche.
Into our kitchen and dining room area.
This is lovely.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's like family home, I feel like.
That's pretty cool.
Dishwasher.
Dishwasher in the kitchen and the washing machine.
Shared garden.
That's
Oh my gosh,
wild.
what?
That's not
this
a
is
thing
like
here.
a park in your back garden. You got plans for how you're going to use it?
And it has a yard like this. Is this normal? I feel like this is not normal. This is insane. It's big rooms, tall ceilings. You have a huge backyard. Like, wow, this would be extremely desirable in the U.S., where I thought we had bigger stuff and bigger yards. And again, maybe this isn't normal, but this is spectacular. This is cool that you can get this for $850 a month in Edinburgh. That sounds like an amazing deal.
There's everything out here in the summer. It's going to be so good.
I'm so jealous of this. How many of you live here?
There's 4 of us in the flat.
Wow.
I mean, it's huge for just 4 of you, right?
It's the smallest room in the house, but it's still like really nice and big. She's actually managed to fit 2 desks in here, so she's got her vanity desk and her.
Oh my gosh, cute. I love all the pink accents. You can tell that this is a girl's house.
Many fireplaces.
I feel like that's a running theme, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So much
Yeah, that's
storage
not
as
a
well,
thing
which I
here
think is,
either.
like, the dream.
Having multiple like fireplaces everywhere.
Basically got no decorations as for now. Also got a big view. No,
I
and
feel
so
like-
much storage space in here too.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like
Wow.
too much in a way. I'm like, what are you using everything
Look at
for?
that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just for like laptop, like when you want to work in bed and
Yeah,
stuff.
and sometimes I'll have like morning coffee. These are just 2 big massive storage cupboards. They're not open
Wow.
very much, but yeah, that is basically.
Okay, that place is fascinating. I don't know if this is like an average, flat, as they said in Scotland, but damn, it looks pretty nice to me. I love the archway right there too, just like the details everywhere. Very impressive place. That place is big. Okay, these are some Portuguese homes. Look at these. So I don't know. It must be okay. So it's just a collage of different homes. I mean, these are cool. The fact that these are called homes, I'm sorry, but it sounds almost funny to me just because you just don't really see homes like this in the U.S. So many different styles, doesn't give the impression of cookie cutter, neighborhood homes. I mean, these are just, they got history, build quality. They look permanent. You know what I mean? They look very strong. And almost like they belong in the environment, right? It's just so cool and so elaborate and intricate.
Combien vous payez votre loyer à Paris?
Moi, j'habite à Neuilly
Et vous êtes propriétaire du coup?
et je suis propriétaire.
Est-ce qu'on pourrait visiter chez vous? En plus, il fait un peu froid.
On peut y aller.
En plus, vous avez un super beau chien, vraiment.
Merci.
Il s'appelle comment?
Il s'appelle Shrek.
Mais quelle chance!
Voilà un petit jardin avec 3 niveaux de terrasse.
Ok.
Allez.
Wow.
Oui, oui. So this video's in French. I don't care. This is awesome. I like hearing different languages. Hopefully I'll understand maybe 10% of this. You probably will understand more. Congrats. Let's watch this. This must be a house or an apartment, not exactly sure, in Paris, in Paris. Very cool.
C'est exceptionnel. Aujourd'hui, c'est exceptionnel. La cuisine, qui
Elle est
fait
magnifique.
aussi salade.
That's a nice
C'est
kitchen.
un magasin de
Wow.
chefs.
Oui, absolument, absolument. Alors,
Great, tasty food made in there, I'm sure.
en fait, au départ,
Sign me up.
l'appartement, il était coupé là. Il y avait une cloison.
So there's an
C'était un
apartment.
studio. Moi, j'ai acheté ça il y a 45 ans. Et on a racheté le studio à côté. Et voilà.
Look at that.
Il y a une chambre, je ne vous la montre pas, parce que Un grand désordre.
It's so well thought out, honestly. It's like a lot of stuff in a lot of these without, most of the time, without looking like it's too chaotic or too, like too busy, right? It's like a great use of, you know, for the most part, smaller spaces, but there's still so much things integrated in usually a good way. It's pretty cool to see.
Vos petits-enfants, ils doivent être tellement ravis de vous avoir comme grand-mère. Honnêtement, c'est le rêve. Shrek.
How does Shrek like it?
Wow.
Oh, that's cool. Right in the room? Come on, that's awesome.
Vue en plus extérieure sur,
Oui, tout
sur la cour.
c'est un souplex, mais quand même tout ouvre sur les
C'est ça.
terrasses extérieures. Et la salle de bain. En fait, c'est vraiment un appartement au départ, c'était vraiment pour un couple. Hein.
Wow, that's an interesting bathroom.
C'est gentil.
Bonjour madame.
That place is kind of cool.
Employé à Paris.
Moi, j'habite à New
It must be one of these. I mean, wow, this is just so different, man. I love it. It's cool. Then you have how people live in Switzerland. I mean, come on. I don't know. They're just like, that's not even fair, right? That was fun. I want to do more of these. I could go so deep into these. Trying to look at homes in different countries. Talk about a, you know, open-ended, almost infinite subject, right? It's just a matter of finding them. Thank you for watching, as always, and I hope you're having an awesome day. With that being said, that's going to be it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.